Hey, another year, another episode of the ManFUzed Podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Happy New Year. Ben, we have made it almost a full year.
Almost a year.
Yeah.
A sign of success, of true holding power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staying power for sure.
Staying power.
Stamina.
Endurance.
That's right.
Episode a week, dropping them every Tuesday.
On time, religiously.
On time, every time. You have a great rhythm.
We have found a rhythm.
Yes.
Yes, we have. With our recording, with our timing. I want to talk about some New Year's goals.
Yes. I've got a talk I'd like to do on motivation.
Oh, that's good. We'd love to hear it. And, oh man, the last week and a half, my household has been a whirlwind Christmas. It was nice, but it was kind of a nightmare. Lay it all out for you. Then we're going to talk about something that is, in my eyes, it's just unethical. It takes the natural law of nature out of the equation, and it's this artificial womb facility camouflaging their unethical science in the name of women's health. Now, while there is a women's health benefit that would probably save some lives, do you want to kick it off with your motivation?
Dude, I'd love to, man. I'd love to. You know,
it's a new year. It's a new you. It's a new me.
It's a new year, but you know what it really is the continuation of everything you've been doing up to this point. Everything we do, we build momentum in one direction or another.
Absolutely.
Momentum is a very important word and a very important concept because you can have momentum toward things that are not good for you.
You could be moving forward or moving back.
Well, you can be moving forward in things that aren't good for you.
Absolutely.
You could be moving forward in things that are good for you.
But if you're moving forward in things that aren't good for you, essentially you might be moving back from your goals.
Sure, whatever your goals may be.
Right.
The point is this. You know, everybody around this time of year is looking for motivation. Motivation to set new goals, motivation to dream new dreams, live a bigger life, actually lose the weight. They're looking for motivation. And that's why you see the gym is packed January and February.
For the first few weeks.
Because motivation, bro, is a quick fucking burn. And it's somewhat irrelevant as it pertains to what it is that you have to get done. So motivation is secondary in nature to a word called discipline.
That's correct.
Because motivation, if you only act when you are motivated to act, you will not reach your goal. Right. You will fail. That is the definition of going backward, is when you act only when you're motivated to act, or in other words, if you don't feel like doing it, you don't do it.
It's kind of like 75 Hard was a perfect example. Yeah. You've got to set, okay, I'm going to do this. It's a no matter what.
That's right.
It's like if life depended on it.
That's right.
Like if someone told you your son was going to die if you don't do this, you wouldn't be like, I don't feel like it.
I don't feel like it.
You would get off your ass, rain, sleet, snow, shine, tornado, and you would go out and fucking do it.
That would give you motivation.
Correct.
But it doesn't give you discipline.
No.
The discipline has to come from within. Discipline means you act against, you act toward, you do the thing that you have to do.
Right.
No, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of how you feel, if you've truly set this goal and this is truly where you want to get to, then you'll do whatever it takes.
It's kind of like
it's discipline that gets you there, not motivation.
And I believe and in some aspects, it's a little bit of courage too, because courage
absolutely
is doing what you're fearful of, regardless, and doing it anyway.
Well, it's like Winston Churchill said, courage is the virtue upon which all other virtues rest.
Right.
Because courage is first.
Right.
It's always courage first.
Right.
You have to have the courage to be disciplined in your life and do the things that you don't want to do, the tasks that lead you to great accomplishments.
Right.
Require discipline.
Right. And it's
not motivation.
And it's breaking beyond whatever you're fearful of.
Yeah. And, look, discipline is a skill. Andy Frisella teaches this.
Right.
David Goggins teaches this. These things are skills, meaning you're not born with discipline.
No.
It's a skill that you learn.
It's like a muscle.
That's
you
right.
You have to exercise it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And if you don't, then it atrophies and dies.
So we go from this place where we have Thanksgiving and then we have Christmas, and it's like everybody is supposed to lower their standards, lower their discipline, all the way until we're supposed to shoot out of the cannon January 1st. Well, I don't even look at it as New Year, January 1st. I don't even think about it that way. My New Year, you want to know when Ben H's New Year is?
When, Ben?
April 1st, bro. April 1st is my New Year.
Why is that, Ben?
Think about the seasons.
Of
Think
course.
about how the seasons change. Do you think the polar bear that's hibernating thinks it's New Year's right now? No. New Year comes when the snow melts and the flowers bloom and everything springs out of the ground. It's a beautiful new beginning. It's a new eclipse around the earth, or around the sun or whatever.
In this time of year, I feel like we all give in to gluttony.
There's this dichotomy happening right now where you're supposed to go from laying on your ass eating chocolate cake, drinking eggnog, right? And not working out to just boom out of the cannon hardcore.
Sweating all over the gym equipment.
Exactly. And you know what? That's a quick burn. That's a fast burn.
But is it sustainable?
No,
for most. No,
it's not sustainable because there's no discipline there.
Right.
It's all motivation.
And within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, life is going to get in the way. You're going to sacrifice, I just can't make it to the gym today. I can't make it to do this today. I can't make that phone call. I can't knock on that door.
Exactly.
That's when it all starts to slip and gets put to the back.
The ManFUzed Podcast is a great example of discipline. Now, could we have recorded 2 shows per week over the last almost year? Maybe.
Yes, we could have.
Yes, we could have, but that may have been an unsustainable level of momentum for us. Hit it on time every time the way that we're currently set up.
I might just be divorced.
There are levels of discipline that are correct for where you are right now and your current momentum in that space.
Dude, if we can get this editing off my plate.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to rip one every day and stay with current events. I think it would be crazy. That'd be awesome. So that's like a goal for me around the podcast. I don't know if it's a 1-year goal or a 3-year goal, but dude, I'd love if we recorded Monday to Friday. You know what I mean? Like in my real estate business, I go out, I write a contract, I hand the contract to the contract coordinator, I manage the relationship, and I see everybody at closing.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's
if we can hand off our raw
audio,
and the next day it's released.
Audio and video eventually.
Audio and video, and then the next day it's released.
And they're also taking care of the social media posts and the promo clips.
Exactly. Well, and then we can focus on social media and creating content.
Well, that's also recording too.
Absolutely.
So we're looking into that. That is a goal for the ManFUzed Podcast.
But my point in saying that is that it's not that which has gotten us here. Our goal was to make sure that we could be consistent. When we started this, we said, look, we might be able to do 2 a week, but let's just see if we can do 1 a week. And you know what? This is our 46th episode, and that's a pretty good achievement, especially because they've hit 7 days apart consistently. Bam!
Right. In the beginning, it was
a little,
Well, we started originally, it was like by Tuesday at noon will be the release. And then I'm like, no, we really need to have it go Monday night into Tuesday at 12:01. And that's typically when I have busted my ass to get them out.
So my question is this for everybody out there. What is it that you need to do to get where you want to go? Physically, mentally, spiritually, financially,
relationship-wise,
with regard to your relationships. Think of all the different areas of your life.
God, it's daunting.
Where you are, where you want to be.
Right.
And don't look for motivation. Look for things that you can do on a consistent basis that create momentum toward those goals.
Little baby steps of doing.
And then act, no matter how you feel.
Right.
Act on those actions. Act on those things. I'm guilty of not doing it. Everybody is.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Me too.
But it's a constant game of improvement. Nobody's perfect. It's all about momentum.
You're going to fail.
I'm in better shape this year than I was last year because I set out to do the live hard thing last year, but I only completed 75 hard I can do 75 hard and live hard. I can seek to do that whole program again this year.
I'm going to.
And the fact that I did 75 hard and made it halfway through phase 1 4 times last year creates momentum for me to crush it this year.
Absolutely. Dude, you can do it. If
You know what I'm
anybody can
saying?
do it, you can do it. I know you can.
I can do it.
You
And
will
so
do
can
it.
Jen. Then there's 105 Live, which is the
105
bitched out version
Live.
of 75 hard.
105 Live.
Yeah, 105 Live.
It's not an Andy Frisella.
No, it's a Ben H.
Oh,
Yeah. And 105 Live is the same rules as 75 hard. Shout out to Andy Frisella. And the only difference is you can drink, and you only do one workout today, but it's an hour and 5 minutes, and it's for 105 days. So it's 105 Live.
How about 6-minute abs? It's
Anything.
6-minute abs, because who wants to do 7-minute abs?
But you know what the truth is? If you did 6-minute abs every day, you'd probably be ripped.
Oh, dude, you'd be good.
If you did it for 2 years, if you did it for 700 days,
You would have a strong core.
just 6 minutes.
You'd have a strong
It's
core.
fucking 6 minutes.
You would have a strong core.
But in a week, it ain't going to work. By February, you're not going to be ripped.
No.
So my message is keep that in mind. Create the momentum. Talk about the tasks and
Better.
execute on the
It's
tasks.
good stuff, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm motivated right now. I'm ready to just run through a wall.
Yes.
For me personally, some goals for me this year. I'm going to take my beautiful wife. We're going to Italy. Yes, for her birthday.
Beautiful.
Was going to have a party like you did for your wife, but she doesn't want to have a party. She wants to go away.
I'm
and
with
have
it, bro.
Private time.
I'm with it.
We're going to go to Rome. We're going to go to Lake Como.
Yes.
We're going to stay in a castle in
Yes.
Tuscany or something like that.
Yes.
So we're going to do that. It's one of my...
If you can make it to Venice,
That's one of those...
just do Venice. 2 nights.
2 nights in
2
Venice.
nights in Venice. Here's what I've noticed about
Is
travel.
that a love-making country?
Dude, it is the most insane place I've ever seen. It's just fucking wild.
Just
and there's no way
the
to explain
design
it.
of it, right?
There's just no way to explain it. I mean, you literally have to be there. But definitely do Venice. But what I've noticed about traveling, I've done a lot of traveling myself. The first night is always fantastic, right? You get there, you check in. The first night's awesome. The next day, amazing. That's the big day. The second night, awesome. Second day, awesome. Third night, a little bored. Third day, not as great.
Why?
I don't know. So,
is it just because are you in the same place, or is it...
so it's like you check into hotels at 3 p.m. and you check out at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., right? So my travel advice for people is always get somewhere, stay 2 nights, and then bounce to another place.
Yeah.
2 nights, then bounce to another
That's what
place.
I want to do.
Because you're just on the high the whole time.
Right. And
You
we're
know
going to
what I'm
rent
saying?
a car and just
Perfect.
cruise.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Bro, there's lakes everywhere. Big ass mountains coming out of the lakes. Right there in that portion of Europe, you have northern Italy, Switzerland, France, and Austria. And there's an area where Austria and Switzerland come together, and then Italy creates this perpendicular thing. That area is insane. That's where Lake Como is.
Oh, we're thinking, I want to go to Rome. I want to see the Colosseum.
Rome's a must.
I want to see some museums.
Yes.
My brother, who used to book travel plans, he designed my whole honeymoon in
love it.
Thailand, which
That's
was
awesome.
insane. Elephants in the jungle, to the
Right.
city, to the beach, to the
Crazy.
full moon party. And he was like, start off in Rome, 2 days, you knock everything out, maybe go to Tuscany, stay in a castle. You can get a room in
Yeah.
a castle
Yeah.
or something, hit Venice,
Yes.
and end up in Lake Como.
Yes.
2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. Something.
And fly out of...
Venice. You should probably fly out of because
Yeah,
Venice, you can
out
fly
of
to Venice.
Venice would be a great place to end the trip, dude.
Yeah.
I would fly into Rome and out of Venice because you'll get to Rome and it's unbelievable. You think you want to go to these different places, and you do want to go to those places, but what you realize when you're in Rome is you're in the place.
Right.
You're in it. You're in the ruins. So there are sights to see,
Colosseum.
yes. But the whole way you're walking there, you're in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it'll blow your freaking
and you
mind.
walk through the Colosseum.
Yeah, it's crazy. Again, everything around it's just as
Can
old.
you hear like the moans of people chanting?
You kind of can. I mean, you can definitely imagine it.
The emperor standing there.
You get to go and enjoy the beautiful countryside. Like, that's what Tuscany is famous for.
Right.
Is the countryside. And it is such a beautiful countryside.
The pasta that they make there.
Yes.
It's not fattening like we eat here. They make it with an ingredient that breaks down. Your body breaks it down easier.
Yeah. Everything we buy from the grocery store has preservatives in it. They make it, they cook it, you eat it. You can't keep it in it for two. It'll get mold on it. It'll go bad.
The stuff there.
That's right. Yeah, they make it, you eat it. Yeah. That's it.
Fresh.
I mean, it's fresh. The raw ingredients.
You don't have a box of dried noodles that you got to boil that can sit in your pantry for 8 years.
That's correct. Then you go to enjoy the water lake with mountains, Cuomo, and then Venice, which is just out of this world insane. You feel like you're on a different planet.
That's crazy.
It's just nuts.
Yeah. So that's definitely one of my goals.
That'd be a great trip. Do it in June.
I think we're gonna have to try to do it in April.
It's gonna be chilly. Just keep that in mind.
I guess I could do it in July. Cuomo will be...
It'll be chilly.
Because of the mountains and stuff.
Right. Yeah. It'll be chilly up there.
So no skinny dipping, maybe. Yeah.
Well, you're probably not swimming in Lake Como anyways unless you like cold water because it's always cold.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just cold always.
Because of the mountains and stuff? Because of where
it's just the elevation, and it's glacier water. I mean, that's what the lake is.
I could do the cold water therapy.
I would.
Cold water plunge.
I'd be getting that bitch in the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
I love the cold water. As a matter of fact, I would stay somewhere that has the option to swim and maybe do a hot tub or something.
Right. Oh, yeah, that'd be dope. Tuck my wiener in between my legs and jump in the cold plunge.
You ain't going to be tucking nothing after you get in there.
Right.
It'll retreat.
Yeah. You won't have to do it.
Retreat!
The red coats are coming! For the ManFUzed podcast, we've had a crazy roller coaster of a first year. There's a lot of things we want to do. I want to build that loyal audience community, essentially.
Yeah.
That we feed off of, that we share our personal lives with. They share our personal lives with us.
I feel like that's really started happening, dude.
It started.
It really has. And, a shout out to all of our listeners who literally listen to every episode, who enjoy the information that we put out. We do this.
Our misogynist and just
even if you don't like us enough to write a 1-star review, we appreciate that because at least you're listening. But no, seriously, especially people that have ordered gear, people that communicate with us. You guys know who you are. We really appreciate you. We appreciate that you share the show with your friends, because ultimately that's how we want to grow, is organically.
Right.
We want to grow with people who enjoy the content
and go, hey, you got to check this out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at the balls on this guy.
And I think it would be great, dude, if everybody who loved the show shared the show. That's how you really grow a great audience.
That's right.
So we appreciate you guys listening, and we appreciate you sharing the show.
And there's great things to come.
Yeah.
We have some good stuff.
Oh, we've got some funny shit. We've got skits.
Ben and I are, we put our brains together. We're like a think tank.
It's called ManFUzed.
So can I tell you about my house guests?
Please.
So I'm going to start by saying that for years, there has been an underlying tension between my father and my sister-in-law that I haven't always been there. My dad's been to Australia. They've been here. My dad's been to Australia 2 times. But I guess there's been this volcano that's been bubbling underneath. I never really paid attention to it. I've heard various just snippets, but just ignore it, whatever. My dad was gracious enough to take my whole family and my brother and his whole family, who were in from Australia, staying at my home for right under a month, to Nashville for a few days. My dad rented a van, and my brother, his wife, and both kids rode 4 hours in the van to and from Nashville. I drove my family in our car.
So they had time to reflect.
Yes. A lot of time to erupt.
Hammer it out.
No, there's no hammering.
So it erupted.
Yes.
It was eruptive.
On the way back, something happened. Something was triggered. An eruption happened.
So let me inquire.
I can't go into too much detail, but yes, inquire.
But yeah, not specifically, but my initial feeling was that maybe it has to do with the fact that Craig lives in Australia, and it's ultimately because of her that he lives in Australia, because she fell in love with him, and maybe your father wishes his son was closer so that they could spend more time together. And maybe Craig is open to the idea, but she isn't.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Now, some of what you said from one side could be an accurate perception.
I mean, which is quite natural, by the way. I live 5 hours away from my parents, which is next door compared to Australia. It's still a source of conflict in our relationship because they wish that we lived closer.
Right.
And so do we. But we don't want to move there and they don't want to move here. So, I mean, it's a very natural conversation. But to be on the other side of the world
is hard.
That's tough, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough.
You see your child or you see your
It's sexy
parents.
when you're in your 20s. But, you start to get through life and your parents are getting older and, time is going by.
Well, right. I mean, at this rate, you look at it and you're like, okay, my dad's in his, early 70s or whatever. Right. How many more times is he going to see my brother?
How many more dinners are we going to have together for my life?
Right. 10?
Maybe.
4?
If we're lucky,
7?
2. Is this the last one?
Right. I don't know.
And that's always the case. But you go years without seeing your son and your grandkids.
I think one side kind of has that perception of it being an issue.
Yeah. Was it a good thing that it erupted?
No.
So nothing was solved.
Nothing solved.
It was made worse.
Pretty much. So we get back. The day we get back, the day after, my sister-in-law's sister is flying in from New York with her 2 kids, 18 and 16-year-old girls.
Yeah.
My brother and his wife and the 2 kids are getting an Airbnb right up the street.
Right.
A couple days after we get back from Nashville, they're going to leave for a few days to go spend quality time, and they'll come back when the sister-in-law's sister leaves.
Yeah.
Well, the day they go over to the Airbnb, my sister-in-law tests positive for COVID.
Ooh.
Now they're at the Airbnb. Well, the day after, my stepmom, who rode in the same van as my sister-in-law, tests positive for COVID. Now, Christmas Eve, which was to be spent at my dad's house, everyone was going to gather there for Christmas Eve dinner. Everyone was going to come to my house for Christmas Day brunch.
Got it.
All that's now canceled. COVID here, COVID there.
COVID everywhere.
Is not at my house.
COVID
So
free.
My wife does not like to not know what the plan is. She doesn't like the plans to change.
That's a woman trait.
Is that misogynistic? Is that why we got 1 star,
No,
Ben?
these are facts. If that's misogynistic, then
you're an idiot.
Then so is the truth.
Yeah. Absolutely. And some people might actually agree with that statement. We're like, okay, this sucks. We wanted everyone over. It isn't going to happen. It's just going to be our family.
Right.
We go buy tomahawk steaks. We go buy lobster.
Delicious.
Just for our family because no one else is coming here. Day before Christmas Eve, the internet goes out and the TV goes out at the Airbnb. Not the end of the world, but for the kids.
It's kind of strange, though.
Well, the owners call AT&T, they say, and they're like, well, they can't come out till like the 27th.
What the hell's wrong with it?
Don't know. I don't know. I'm not over there diagnosing it. Anyway, 4 kids in the house. It's 10 freaking degrees outside.
Oh, it was so cold, bro.
In Atlanta, on a normal year, we get a couple days here and there that might be in the teens.
Yeah.
But it's 60 the next day.
Bro, it was 5 degrees in the morning.
For like
my house.
6 days straight.
Yeah. Everything was frozen.
Right.
We put out a sprinkler.
Yeah.
Ruined trees.
You did?
I thought it was going to be cool and create like a winter wonderland.
And you killed your
all my
trees?
Italian cypresses. Done.
Oh, really?
Luckily, just a couple of them.
You murdered them?
Murdered the Italian cypresses. 100 pounds of ice on them.
Were you like, don't I feel stupid?
I felt horribly stupid, but we had beautiful icicles off of the roof.
You know, you could have just bought the ones that like lights that trickle down.
I know, but it was dope. Dude, Jack was taking them and eating the icicles and stuff. It was cool.
That's cool.
We were
I'm
throwing them in the
glad
hot tub. We were in the hot tub, throwing icicles in the hot tub.
Melting.
And then jumping in the cold pool. It was cold. It was 7 degrees outside, and the water was 40 degrees, which is very cold water. The interesting thing is that when you got out of the hot tub and you were in the air, and then you got into the cold pool, it felt a lot less cold, but it was still 40-degree water.
That's crazy.
7-degree temperature.
Anyway.
The internet died. The tragedy has commenced.
So my brother texts me and he's like, the internet's dead. I'm like, well, that kind of sucks because you ain't going to have nothing to do to entertain these kids. They can't go outside. Yada,
Talk
yada,
to you later.
yada. Yeah. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Then
no COVID
the
here.
next morning, Their pipes freeze.
Must have been on crawl space.
Yes, it was.
They didn't drip the faucets.
I went to the house. It's an older house.
Right.
That they cosmetically threw some new paint.
Right.
Some shiplap boards.
Right, yeah.
They had the heat up to 78, and it wouldn't get higher than like 67.
So it was cold in the house.
Very cold in the house.
Yeah.
There was a definite draft.
That sucks.
They had space heaters in the house on the floor because they knew it was going to be a cold.
It's horrible. I feel so bad for them for that. Coming all the way over here to have Christmas. And I mean, it'll be a great story, though.
So my brother's like, I don't know what to do. Their pipes are frozen.
They have no water.
They have no water.
Can't go without water.
No, you can't go without water. No. 10 degrees outside.
You gotta flush the toilet, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't flush the toilet?
I can't drop the brown snake.
Yeah, you're in a different situation altogether.
Yeah,
bro.
you might have to dig a hole in the yard.
It's rock hard.
Oh, yeah, you ain't going to do that
Frozen.
either. This Airbnb, I think it had just become an Airbnb because some of the essential things, there were no spices, there were no knives, there were no cooking utensils. So if you wanted to cook, you were shit out of luck. You ever been to Airbnb and there's games? So you know what I'm saying? They furnish you with things
to do.
to enjoy.
There was none of that here?
Oh, dude, it was bare bones. I mean, there was a TV in some rooms, but it was as bare bones as you got. To my wife, I'm like, what do I tell him to do? You're going to go try to get a hotel room on Christmas Eve? You know how much money that's going to cost? My brother's paying 60 cents on the dollar for converting. So, you know, if
he's already getting smoked.
He's getting dogged.
Double, yeah.
He's getting almost,
double dogged.
If it's 200, he's paying 360 or something crap.
Yeah, right.
And now we've got the sister-in-law's sister and her two kids. Are they going to separate? The whole purpose of them coming here.
Sister-in-law's sister.
And her two kids.
She lives here?
No, they're from New York. They flew in from New York.
You're talking about your brother's wife's sister?
Yes, who came in with her two kids.
So is she Australian?
She's from Australia, but she lives in New York.
So that's interesting, right?
Right.
She lives in Australia. Her sister lives here.
Her sister's from Australia.
Your brother's from here and lives in Australia, but you live here.
Right, correct. And her sister has her dual citizenship as well. So she's a citizen of Australia and the United States, where my sister-in-law is just a citizen of Australia.
So you got two sisters, family, kids, the house is
7 of them.
done. You are here in your house with your wife and
Warm.
3 children.
Warm,
eating cakes and
water,
yeah,
internet, just toys, things to do.
It's warm.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even tell it's cold outside.
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely.
At all.
Pipes are sturdy and hard.
Pipes are flowing.
Yeah, absolutely. You can drop a deuce and it'll go away.
Anywhere.
It'll go away. Like, bye. You can send it out.
Oh, my God.
What do we do? This gives my wife anxiety.
No. Please.
She's like, okay, bring them. All 7
Acceptance.
Acceptance. Family love.
She accepted what she had to do.
Gives her severe anxiety because now we had dinner now changed and now it's being altered again. My sister-in-law.
So they're coming with COVID too.
My sister-in-law has been testing positive, but she's been isolating at the Airbnb. She's almost on her 5th day. She comes, she wears a mask, she kind of stays off. She's not, intermingled with everybody.
Right.
For the most part. And then like the 6th, 7th day, because you can test positive for COVID even when you have no symptoms.
Yeah.
Even when you're not contagious.
Right.
And I'm not worried. I had 13 people in my house, dude.
13.
For Christmas Eve, Christmas, all the way through Tuesday, 3 of them departed. I love my brother and his family. I have not had a break. I'll probably delete this part out because I don't want to seem like a dick. What else could go wrong? And then you've got this volcano ready to erupt because now my dad hasn't seen my brother in a week. And COVID over here, COVID over there.
Right. And this is the holidays. This is how it goes down. This is why it's a tough time for a lot of people, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Yeah. I was grateful to have my brother and my parents, my son and my wife at my house. It was a manageable crew. You know what I mean? And, yeah, we kicked it hard, dude.
Did you?
We drank a lot of whiskey.
Nice.
We drank a lot of wine, ate a lot of great food.
That's nice.
Hung out in the hot tub, burned fires, shot bow and arrow. We were just chilling,
Dude,
bro.
my son got a BB gun.
Yeah.
And he's been out there shooting.
Shooting stuff.
Yeah. Got a Red Ryder BB gun.
Nice.
Like a Red Ryder?
Oh, I keep a Red Ryder on deck. A Red Ryder will do some damage.
You can't pump it multiple times.
No, you just one pump it.
I'm a one pumper.
But it's perfect, bro. It's such an iconic gun.
It's like the Kalashnikov.
Right. It's iconic because it's a perfect yard BB gun.
It really
It's
is.
the right speed.
It's got the right weight.
Yeah,
Sturdy. It's
exactly.
not cheap.
It'll last forever. I mean, the one I have is probably 30 or 40 years old, dude.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Red Ryder has been making some money off of that gun.
Dude, and I love buying them, too. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
love
you see
buying
it.
more.
I do, bro.
Ace Hardware's got them.
I love it. The box, it's got the beautiful Red Ryder box,
Dude.
and you get it's got the little leather tassel on it.
Dude, the way it was wrapped for my
Yes,
son, and it
yes.
was put in the corner, like
Yeah.
away from
Hell
everything,
yeah.
and you could just see from the box. You knew what it was.
Oh my God, like it came from heaven.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
And they're like, what, like $20 or $50 or something?
It was like 40 or 50 bucks.
Yeah, it's not that-
Angels singing.
Angels sing. High value item.
So my wife is a soldier. Thank her, even though she is ready to kill me. I didn't know what to do. What would you have done? Would you have sent people, or would you have made room?
You make room, dude. I mean, you just do.
It's
you
just the
make
way
room and
you
you
do
just
it.
do it. I mean,
I love my brother. I love his family.
You have to try to roll. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right.
Ooh, I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. We should make a song about that.
Yeah.
Optimistic and wrong, pessimistic and right.
Yeah.
Optimistic and
So,
wrong.
The way I see it is just like, oh, cool. We got a bigger party now. Like, let's just make it more fun.
And it was great.
You
really
you guys
was.
pick up some more wine on the way. Like, pick up some extra food. Like,
They
do
did.
whatever. Let's party.
It-
You know what you should do for your wife? I'm going to say is it'd be cool if you could cut in that song, Sexual Healing. Designate it to her. Honey, I know it's been a long Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, I'll say it. Honey, it's been a long, long Christmas.
While sexual healing is
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
You should do a
This
dedication.
song is dedicated to you, the love of my life. Can you feel it? Sexual healing.
Daddy is
Coming home. Prepare yourself,
The
woman.
guests are going to leave soon.
Yes. I'm going to take you all over this home.
That's right. Sexual healing.
Actually, we shouldn't put in the music. It should just be that, just dry. Sexual healing. Sexual
Well,
healing.
if you can imagine it in your mind.
yeah,
honey.
yeah, it's playing right now.
It's playing in my mind, and
That's
I'm
right.
thinking about you.
Yeah. Thinking about all the things I want to do to you.
I know what you need, baby.
Yeah.
You need some sexual healing.
That's right. That's right.
Baby, I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right.
Oh, the words that have never been more true just came out of your mouth hole.
Why do you call it a mouthful?
I don't know, because it is.
It's a whole different thing, though, when you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
Like that.
That was my Christmas. If anybody out there has had anything equally as
Let's
crazy
hear
or
about it.
more drama, I want to hear that. I mean, I remember on the Burt Show, there was one storyline where big gathering at Christmas and one of the dogs bit the head off of a little dog at the Christmas dinner fucking table.
Dang. Here's one more thing about the holidays that I say, and just in general in life. You just have to remember everybody out here is doing the best they can. Somebody cuts you off, probably because they're trying to get somewhere, doing their best. Even in the midst of cutting you off, you just have to remember that they're doing their best.
Well, you think they are. My wife,
know?
on the other hand, would be like, that lazy motherfucker got up late, now in a rush, and putting our lives in jeopardy.
Exactly.
Where I'm like, maybe he's going to see his dying mother.
Exactly. Again, it's the glass half full or it's the glass half empty. Perspective is how you look at things.
Right. Everyone's dealing with the blows of life. Because
Everyone.
it's coming wave after wave after wave. Check this out. So I ran across this article and it rubbed me wrong, Ben. Now I'm all about science. I'm all about the evolution of curing disease and making our lives. I don't want to have to drive over to your house to get you to sign a document when I can just email it to you and you can virtually sign it.
Or send a raven.
That would be a cool way to do it. So I'm all about the evolution of our species making things easier so we don't have to do all the stupid things that people used to have to do because they didn't have any other way to do it.
Right.
Technology wasn't there. The systems weren't in place. So there's an artificial womb facility where parents can pick their baby's traits. Now, the World Health Organization says around 300,000 women die from pregnancy complications each year. I'm thinking that this company called Ectolife is using that figure, which is tragic. 300,000 women have complications where their babies die, maybe they die. This company, Ectolife, has created an artificial womb designed to alleviate, this is how they're spinning it, human suffering and reduce the chances of C-sections, premature births, and all this can be a thing of the past. There's this guy, Hashem, I don't know if I'm butchering his name, Hashem, who is the main scientist, claims that Ectolife is the solution for women who have had their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other complications. Right now, they can't research on human embryos past 14 days. Anything past that, there's ethical restrictions. You just can't. It's like stem cell. They're saying after more public awareness, people are going to become more receptive to this technology. The facility features 75 highly equipped labs, each able to accommodate over 400 growth pods, that's what they're calling it, or artificial wombs. Every pod is designed to replicate the conditions that a baby would be in the womb. It looks like a matrix pod. The pod features sensors that monitor the baby's vital signs, heartbeat, temperature, even sound, so the voice of the mother or father is like pumped in to this little pod. This artificial intelligence-based system monitors the physical features of the baby, and they have an elite package they're going to offer to where you could pick the baby's facial features, hair color, strength level, how smart they are, from a menu, like McDonald's. I want the blue-eyed, brown-haired, 6'1", Spartan strong. You can't make everybody healthy and strong and live forever.
Because of the fact that it's a human process, actually makes it natural on a macro level.
Okay, I don't know if that's it.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying there's a thing called the singularity. So one of the big questions about the UFOs that we see is there even anybody in it? And then the other question about it is, if there's nobody in it driving it, does that mean that there's somebody away from it driving it?
Like a drone.
Right, like a drone. And then the third question is that thing actually a being? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is that thing actually something? Because it's called the singularity. The singularity is the interface between human beings and artificial intelligence created by human beings.
See, this here says the elite package allows you to genetically engineer the embryo before it's inserted into the artificial womb. If you want your baby to stand out, have a brighter future, their elite package offers you the opportunity to engineer that.
Wow. I can't say that I'm not interested. I'm interested in ordering a baby.
You know what I'm saying? To order a baby.
I want to order a baby.
I want to supersize that baby.
But I'm wondering what it's going to be like for the baby when they figure out what happened.
This isn't a result of your dad and your mom.
Right. We got something to tell you, buddy.
We picked you out of a menu.
Created in that building, right? Here's you in your sack.
Is this the future of parenting?
It seems like a future of parenting. Dude, there's a lot of people that can't have kids, man.
But there's ways around that. There's adoption. There's IVF. And I know childbirth for a woman who wants to have a child has to be one of the most devastating things because they're unable to provide that child for themselves, for their husband, for their family.
Right.
I've heard from women who have struggled in this area.
I wonder what these things cost. What is the elite package?
Maybe $1 million.
How much is a baby worth?
A baby? I mean, you could sell on the black market, get a lot of money for a damn
That's a
baby.
different level. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Think about it.
Dude, what if people start like wholesaling these things? You got one that's ready to go. He's going to be born next week.
Think about a woman who's got $100 million. Money isn't an issue. She can't have a damn baby. She'll pay $1 million for a baby.
For sure, bro.
$2 million for a baby.
Dude, give me 4. I want 4 elites.
Yeah. It says I want
2 girls and 2 boys.
Right. I want them to have brown hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, I want that one to have brown hair, brown eyes. This one to have blonde hair, green eyes. This one, I
want them to have a thermos-sized penis.
Yeah, I want that one to be brown, that one to be black, this one to be, white.
I want that one to play football, that one to play basketball.
Yeah. I need an Asian scientist.
It says the birth process is done by a push of a button.
It's happening. They're doing this. They're growing human beings. We have the technology. They're able to do it. They're doing it.
Legally, there's not saying they're doing it.
But these people exist.
You know that scientist has a separate, undisclosed location where he is pumping out for the filthy rich.
Yeah.
Because the rich.
But also think about these kids, bro, or these people. Like, there's like some underground shit going on where they're being trained or they're being taught or they're being tested on.
Well, you think about it. So this guy who's got this article about his company, Ectolife, billionaires are approaching him going, hey, I know you can make something happen.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I want him to live for 1,000 years. Age is the degeneration of the cells. The cells stop regenerating and they start degenerating. And that's when your body starts to decline. And then you die. If you can stop the degeneration process, you can continue to live. The earth itself is prime time for human life. It's your body that dies.
So they have this thing that they've created called the CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing tool. It's like a piece of software. Oh, we want to edit that gene. We'll just make that DNA here's Shaq's DNA.
I want her to look good in jeans.
If you are in charge of allowing the embryos to be tested and grown past 15 days, if you were given full authority to go, yes, keep going, or no, people live and die every day. They're born and they die every day. Some people, unfortunately, they got dealt a shit hand. And it's tragic and it's unfortunate, but that is the pecking order. It's just something that happens. Some people are born fine and then they get hit by a car because of stupid decisions. So they die early. But what I'm saying is if you're controlling the birth, how are you unique? Got a bunch of puppets.
But you're probably binding the cells of the father and the mother. It's probably utilized within their cellular structure so that there's a likeness and so that certain genetic aspects are passed on. Ultimately, they're cloning kids or they're cloning humans. And I think this is something that's been going on for a long time, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for it to be reaching the commercial level, it's been going on for a very long time.
This guy has created the elite package.
Elon Musk warned against AI for the human species. So what that means is that AI is its own thinking system. Whether you want to call that life or not, it thinks independently. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if you want to weigh in on this topic, it's pretty controversial, I would think. I would say hell no. And I don't want to be the guy that stops the progress of things. We got to be careful, like the singularity.
Yeah.
Do we want what's too far? You don't know who's human, who's cyborg, who's...
Well, let me ask you this. If there was something that could be put into your body which would cause you to live 1,000 years.
I don't know, bro.
I fucking would.
You would?
Fuck yeah.
You want to live 1,000 years?
Fuck yeah, absolutely.
No. There's something to be said about, serving 90 years and then having a peaceful,
lived
eternal
900
rest.
years.
Okay. I mean, do you think he was happy the whole time?
No, but I mean, think of the things you could do. Think of how big of a family you could have.
Oh, God. I mean that sounds exhausting, dude.
I just think of the progress, just the things you could see.
Yeah, you could witness all the horrors that human beings are doing to each other everywhere.
Yeah, but that's a negative perspective. I mean, you're only thinking about, I don't want to live longer because life sucks.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not happy with life, but I mean, dude.
Why would you want more of this?
I mean, life can be hard, bro. I mean, I don't
think we have enough time, dude. I mean, I don't think think it's enough time.
But 100 years? I mean, or 1,000 years?
10,000 years, dude.
Oh my God. How's life? It's taken forever.
Well, you could ultimately, I mean,
kill yourself.
You could die at any time.
Well, you could also do one of those assisted deaths when you just said, I'm fed up.
You could die at any time. You just be done with it.
You can have this shithole.
I think it's an interesting topic, dude, because it's happening already. It's already happening. I mean, the transhuman situation that the World Economic Forum are discussing, they're literally saying that we may have the technology in our lifetime to become immortal. They literally say gods among men. So they want to become immortal.
Well,
and
they
live
do,
forever
the rich.
And rule forever. And then the people who are born and die, bro, they're just poor slaves.
Do you want to rule? Do you want to live under their thumb?
I want to be
them
there with them. I want to have the opportunity to do that in my life, dude.
Let's go 150.
Dude, I would do it. Bro, I wish my granddad was still alive. I wish my granddad was 100.
I wish my granddad was still alive.
Don't you think he wishes he was still alive? To be able to see all of his, to be a great-grandfather?
Of course, but can this earth support that?
I think so, man. I don't know. Maybe not.
There's so many, the impact on the earth. No one's dying unless we're just executing at a faster rate.
Well, if you look at it from that perspective, it's interesting because that would require a depopulation effort. It seems to be happening somehow.
Karen crapped all over the floor. Come here, we need help.
Oh.
It's like dark green.
Ooh, gross, bro.
Kieran pooped on the floor? How did she poop on the floor?
No, it was leaking out of the diaper.
My kids just came in and interrupted because my 2-year-old
Max and Kai on the podcast.
Pooped on the floor.
Perfection.
Kai, you want to say hi?
Say hi to the world.
Hey, world.
We have to cut this episode short because there is crap on the floor that I must go and clean.
You must attend such.
Thank you for listening to the ManFUzed Podcast. Seems like a better exit point than any other I could think of. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Make sure you check out our ManFUzed Gear. You can find the link in our episode description and listen to us on all the major podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.